This episode of PTCGO is brought to you by Etsy shop Luminous 2 Flux. Check out the shop after the video for cool anime and game themed lamps and displays. Information in the description, and don't forget to use promo code tier2 for $5 off any purchase over $25. Personally, I own the Charizard lamp and I think it's really nice. I have it next to my Pokemon collection here, with next to Throw and next to Tyrant, of course, Pokemon I all adore. I also think about picking up the Kingdom Hearts one because I am a pretty big Kingdom Hearts fan. So these I don't know, I just like collecting things from game and anime stuff. But also, if there's anything that's in the shop they don't have, you can also make requests. So hopefully you guys do check it out. Hey guys, today we're going to talk about Gengar himself, the evil ghost poison Pokemon. Either way, Gengar is actually kind of a cool card. He's a lot of people see a little bit of potential in him. The only reason being is his second attack, Creepshow. It's a very nice kind of a move, kind of different in today's format, and we'll just go and talk about him right now. Gengar is a 130 second type Pokemon, and he's got like a cool little Shadow Realm kind of thing going on here. He evolves in Haunter, which is also a nice Pokemon, and overall Gengar is a really loved Pokemon. He's got Sinister Fog for 1 second energy. Your opponent's active Pokemon is not poisoned, and put 1 damage counter on each of your opponent's Pokemon. So over time this will start dealing a lot of damage. This kind of reminds me of Team Rocket Arbok, because I used to love that deck a lot. It wasn't a great deck, but I loved it. It kind of reminds me a lot of Team Rocket's Arbok attack. Either way, his second attack is Creepshow, the one that everybody's talking about. It's for 1 second and 1 colorless. However, with Dimension Valley, it's just a second energy. Creepshow, if your opponent's active Pokemon has 3 or more damage counters on it, the Pokemon is knocked out. So it doesn't matter what it is. It could be Mega, it could be EX, could be another Gengar, it could be whatever. It is knocked out if it has 3 or more, so 30 damage onto it. And this is where a lot of the problems and potential lies in Gengar. People like the second attack. They kind of think it's a neat attack. It would be pretty good because you can just get rid of a Mega instantaneously just with this. However, the only problem is people need to find out is a good secondary partner or a partner for Gengar in order to achieve this. And people don't really know who the best partner is for it or how to run it smoothly. There are 3 major decks or major variants of this right now. There is Greninja, which is the one I have right now currently. There's also one of Dark made, which is the Noivern version, Noivern Gengar, which is also another popular one. And then of course the other one is Gengar EX Gengar, which is the last of the major variants. And so if you see a Gengar deck, it's running usually one of these 3 options. The Noivern one's probably Noivern, and the Gengar EX ones are the most stable of the 3. However, the Greninja one has the most, I wouldn't say upset, but it has the potential to sweep fast. I don't know how exactly to say it. I'll just explain it. However, he is weak to Dark, which is kind of a problem because Zoroark Break and Evolve to EX are really popular, and so it's gonna be hard to constantly set up Gengars because they are stage 2. But don't let that like deter you. This is still a nice deck. And also I've won plenty against Zoroark and I've won plenty against Evolta. Actually, the one I had the most trouble with currently when I'm playing this deck is Raichu Bats for some reason. Because Raichu just gets set up so fast, and it's such a thing. And also the free Chigas, which is nice. So, another thing is Greninja here. He's the partner for our deck, Greninja, stage 2. We don't need to know anything about that because we're just going to Archies him. He's a 130 water type Pokemon, and the ability we're going to use here is Water Shuriken. Once during your turn, before you attack, you may discard a water energy card from your hand. If you do, put 3 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. So that's pretty nice. It's 3 damage counters, essentially the 3 that we need for Gengar. So what we want to do here is we want to discard our water energy, put it onto our opponent's active or maybe we're the last round of the Pokemon. Just put it on the Pokemon we want to knock out, and then put the 30 onto it, and then use Creepshow to instantaneously knock it out. So we're kind of just bypassing the setup here. We just want to use Greninja to put 30 and then Creepshow to knock it out. So in 1 turn we can get rid of whatever it is. The only thing that we can't do it on is, I guess, Mega Sceptile, since he does have the ability Theta Stop, which is you can't, any abilities that affect it don't work on it. So I guess Mega Sceptile will stop you. It's not too prevalent, not too prominent yet. I haven't faced many Mega Sceptiles, especially with this deck. This deck apparently I face a lot of dark decks. However, when I use the other deck, that's gonna be next. I face like no dark decks. It's weird. Either way, that's about it. That's a whole setup. We want to get Gengar and then Greninja on the bench, and then essentially snipe whatever is a threat, and then use Gengar's Creep Show to knock it out. We're gonna look at Haunter here because Haunter could be useful. Haunter is a semi-type, Psychic-type Pokemon. 70 HP Psychic-type Pokemon. It's got the ability Gothic Fear. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you may leave both active Pokemon confused. So it's kind of nice because it's able to maybe hopefully stall. Say for instance your opponent has let's go with, I don't know, Mega Charizard X for some reason, and it's the only Pokemon that he has that's set up. It has all the energies on it, and it's just wrecking your day. You can use Gothic Fear and hopefully stall for a turn because he'll be confused, and so will you. But that he also runs a risk of hitting himself, and also if he retreats, he won't have anything left to attack with. So you can use it to stall for whatever you need to be doing. Maybe you need another turn to set up Gengar, or maybe you have Archies, but you need to get rid of a Greninja that's in your hand, something like that. You can use Gothic Fear to hopefully maybe stall for a turn or two, just to give you some time. Ghastly, nothing too amazing about him. I guess Sleep Poison is kind of cool. That's about it. Unknown here. I wanted to run Unknown because Shaman, I usually have Shaman in most of my decks because Shaman is just a really great card to have. It helps especially in PTCGO because sometimes you get the weirdest hands, so Shaman does help out quite a bit. But I didn't want to have Shaman in every deck, so I figured, you know what, since there's already Psychic-type Pokemon in here, I might as well use Unknown. Unknown 60 Psychic-type Pokemon. He has the ability Farewell Letter. Once during your turn, before you attack, of course, if this Pokemon is on your bench, you may discard this Pokemon and all cards attached to it. This not count as knocking out this Pokemon. If you do, draw a card. So we put it on the bench, then we discard them, and then draw a card. So it helps us go through our deck a little faster, just because you have a dead hand. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's the whole lineup here. If you want to make them more consistent or more smoothly or more faster, of course Shaman EX will help. If you don't want to put Shaman in here, maybe Raichu is coming out too much for you and he's thunderclapping all your Shamans away, then of course this deck, Unknown will be probably the better fit here. So that's pretty much it. We got plenty of tools here to discard Greninjas to get out Archies, because Archie is pretty much one of the pivotal parts of the deck. I've also balanced it a little bit more to where Archies comes out a little more. He's as much as Sycamore over here. If you think it has too much supporters here, then of course take away Birch, because sometimes you gotta risk it for the biscuit, but sometimes you just gotta get rid of Birch. We also have 4 battle compressors. Might as well talk about the lineup. 4 good battle compressors. This is so we can open up with it as much as we can, and the whole idea for it is to get rid of a Greninja and get rid of Archies and get rid of maybe like a Lassiter or Skella. That way we hopefully get a First Seeker as well, and it increases our odds of getting that turn 1 Archies. We also have 2 energy retrievals. The reason being is because we'll be discarding 1 energies, and right here, as we have it right now, we only have the effort of knocking out 5 Pokemon. So this will let us knock out in total 7. So 5 is good for EXs because of course EXs are worth 2, but if you're running against a deck that runs that gives you only 1 prize card, then of course 5 won't cut it because you're missing that last one, and that's about it. So that's where we have energy retrieval, and then we have rare candies, of course, to evolve our Gengar as fast as possible. We have 3 Trainer's Mails. This is to look for Versus Seekers, Ultra Balls, maybe even Battle Compressors, any kind of item card we have in here. We have 3 Ultra Balls. This is mostly for the Gengar and Greninja, but of course if you want, you can also Ultra Ball for a Unknown to just put on the bench. 3 Versus Seekers, up to you if you want to run 4, up to you completely. We have 3 Archies, Ace in the Hole, and I barely noticed that he has a sick necklace. And this is let's go talk about him. You can only play this card once. You can only play this card if this is the only card you have in your hand. Put a water Pokemon from your discard pile into your bench, then draw 5 cards. So just to clarify, you have to have Greninja in the discard pile to even use this card. You can't just use it to draw 5 cards. You have to have the water Pokemon first. So just a little clarifying there. And then 1 Lysander, and then 2 Birches, because sometimes you gotta risk it for the biscuit. 3 Sycamores, because Sycamore is arguably the best card of all time, or I guess Juniper too. 1 Scala, because Bay. And then we have 4 Dimension Valleys. This is so our Gengar does doesn't need 2 energies to attack. I mean, you could if you want to keep him safe, but dimension value helps cover us at that point in time. We also run 6 psychic energy and 5 water energies. So overall, nice looking deck. This large, it runs half on, not half, but it runs pretty well. But you will need a little bit of luck to always get that turn 1 Greninja. If you don't get the turn 1, don't worry, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it will take a little thinking on your part to make sure the turn 1 happens. There are times I make misplays where I could have had Greninja out, but I totally messed it up. So don't worry, it's just something you get used to. As far as bad matchups, dark decks, of course, things like Zoroark, Breaker, Zoroark are pretty rough, but I want to say the worst kind of matchups are things that only trade up 1 prize card, like decks like Night Watcher, things like that, because I mean, while Greninja could snipe out Joltix, I mean, it just depends on the matchup. But Raichu is Circle Circuit is pretty rough. EXs aren't that too rough because they offer up 2 prize cards. So I want to say just 1 prize card decks. Things like, I guess, Night March and Raichu Bats is kind of a hard matchup since they knock you out and they set up a little bit faster than we do. That's about it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the battles, guys. Alright, we are starting against a Psychic Dark deck, colorless deck, and we're gonna go in and flip heads. We get heads, yay. Always good to start off with, of course. If you don't, it don't matter, but first is always good so we can get Gengar out quicker. And our opponent mulligans, he's running some kind of bat deck with enhanced hammers and, of course, bad energy, which is not that bad. We don't run special energies, and also overall it's not too bad. Bats is kind of a thing. So it could be a couple of things. It could be Evolto Bats, anything dark EX plus Bats, I guess. So we're gonna go ahead and bench down our Ghastly and of course our Unknown and get another Ghastly through Ultra Ball, and we'll attach an energy to our Ghastly. The reason being, our bench Ghastly. The reason being is of course Evolto is gonna knock out our active Ghastly. And so we're gonna go Sycamore, and luckily we get a nice hand. Doesn't look very nice, but actually it's pretty nice. We got Ultra Balls, and we got Archies, and we got Greninja, and we got Energy. So our opponent goes ahead and attaches Dark Energy to, I think it's actually a Bad Energy to Evolta. Puts on a Shaming for 2. Level Balls for Zubat. So Evolta is not the main attacker, but he's a set of Pokemon. He's gonna go ahead and Oblivion Wing and knock out our Ghastly. Poor Ghastly. He died for honor. And we're going to promote our Unknown. Reason being is Unknown can at least take 1 or 2 hits. Actually, just 1 hit. The second one we knock him out. So we're going to promote our Unknown to at least live a hit here. So we get Sycamore. That's we're going to use Archie right now with Ultra Ball, the Greninja, and of course the Psychic Energy, and get out another Unknown. Because Unknown's always good. Actually, a Haunter. My bad. We're going to get a Haunter and confuse our active Pokemon, and of course Evolta, hopefully stalling him from using Oblivion Wing. And then we'd go ahead and Sycamore away, Ultra Ball away the Sycamore and the Water Energy and get an Unknown, there you go. And attach our Psychic Energy to our active Unknown so we can retreat later on, and Archie's the Greninja. So boom, yeah, Greninja now. We get another Ghastly and we get another Unknown, so always nice. We can have multiple options of going through our deck here. So now my opponent's active Evolta is actually confused. It's going to evolve into Golbat, and he's going to actually do 20 to our Unknown, which is kind of scaring me because I thought he had a Muscle Band and he's going to knock out our Unknown with Evolta, but he doesn't seem to have Muscle Band. He touches Dark Energy to Golbat, and let's see what happens here. Gets Tails and does 30 to himself, so now Gengar doesn't need Greninja at this point. We'll go ahead and evolve to Gengar and put energy on him. Retreat. So now Gengar can use Creep Show and knock out the Evolta. So we get a prize card. We get Water Energy, so nice, very nice. Our opponent is going to have to promote the Golbat because he does not want Shane to be knocked out. Shane offers up 2. Our opponent promotes, benches another Zubat and puts an energy 2 on the Zubat. And yeah, so we find out that it's actually a Tyranitar deck. Using Giovanni's Skin to get the most out of his draw. Using 3 there. He's going to Ultra Ball away, so probably going to see. Oh, nope, never mind. He gets Evolta EX, one of the big contenders against this deck, since Evolta can just do amazing amount of damage really suddenly. We're gonna go on Trainer's Mail and get a Versus Seeker, so now we got that Life Center. We don't want to deal with Evolta EX, so we'll just go ahead and knock him out this one turn. gonna get him, gonna use a water shuriken, get the water energy, and do 32 Evolta EX and Creep Show, knocking out Evolta in that one turn, getting 2 prize cards. Nice trade off there. My opponent promotes Golbat again, and swoops across, and we didn't have really much at that point, but my opponent concedes, so we'll go to the next match. It was kind of fast, even with the editing. It was actually, I think I edited it too fast, but we're going against another deck here. This one seems to be a fire deck. So let's see. We're going to flip, and I picked tails this time because I got a lot of heads, but nope, still got heads. So we're gonna go second. Not too bad. Fire Pokemon do have nice acceleration, but they usually have a high attack cost, so maybe we'll buy us a turn or 2 here. We start off with unknowns, which is okay. It actually saves our Ghastlies from being knocked out. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna keep the unknown in my hand just to see if I can get something better with the Ultra Balls. And my opponent opens up with Entei, which is scary because this could be Speed Entei. And Entei does enough damage to knock out Gengars. Also, he put double colors, and he's gonna go ahead and Sycamore. And let's see what happens here. He benches another Entei, so overall it looks like a Speed Entei deck, and ends his turn. He didn't play any Fury Torches or anything like that, so maybe it's not a Speed Entei deck. I'm gonna go on Battle Compressor here, and I'm gonna get rid of the Greninjas, and of course an Archies, and maybe the other Greninja as well. They're better in the discard pile here. We're going Ultra Ball away. Probably the Hunter. I'm thinking here, what's the best bet here? I'm trying to get my hand down so I can use the Archies. So I'm gonna Ultra Ball away the Hunter, and of course the other Ultra Ball, and get out a Ghastly. I'll bench the Ghastly, and I'm going to bench the Unknown, and I'm going to attach my second energy to the Ghastly, and now I'm going to Burst Seeker out the Archies, and I'm going to play Archies, and I'm going to get out the Greninja. So turn 1 Greninja, and I'm going to get 5 cards. I got another Unknown, and I got 2 Gengars, which is not the best. I kind of wanted a Rare Candy. I get a Sycamore though out of my Unknown draw, so not too bad, not too bad. Let's see what happens here. It's now my opponent's turn. He's gonna Battle Compressor himself as well. Probably gonna Battle Compress Fire Energies, so most likely we're gonna see Blacksmith as well. Or maybe he's Battle Compressing Blacksmiths because he has a Versus Seeker, or Battle Compressor can just give you so many options. And see what happens here. I think he Battle Compressed the Lessener as well. He probably doesn't want to draw into that, even though getting rid of Greninja would help him out quite a bit. Excuse me. And touches energy to his Entei, and of course he Blacksmiths. Nice. That's the joy of fire decks, is that Blacksmith. It reminds me of Blaine so much. And he's gonna go ahead and, I believe it's called Heat Tackle, and knock out our Unknown, unfortunately. But we have Ghastly, and he's probably the best bet to get something good out of here. So I have a choice of Sycamoring, so I'm going to Sycamore, but I'm going to first use one energy since I do have 2. I'm going to do 32 the bench Entei, since the active Entei already did 32 himself. Luckily, out of the Unknown, I get a Rare Candy, so I'm going to go ahead and evolve into Gengar. Now I need a Dimension Valley or another energy, so I'm gonna go ahead and just attach my energy to Gengar just in case I don't get Dimension Valley. See, I didn't get Dimension Valley, so it would have been a bad play if I didn't get it. So I'm gonna go ahead and Creep Show, knocking out the Entei, and getting out a Gengar. So now I got another one, got another Rare Candy, another Gengar, so always nice. So what happens here? My opponent puts on a Camerupt EX, so that's good. What I see there is 2 prize cards. My opponent, I don't know, so it's a fire deck, but I don't know exactly sure the variant here. So we're gonna go into Ultra Ball. Got rid of the team. What's what I call it, Team Rocket. The Team Rocket was Camerupt. He's gonna bench a Shaman, and getting a nice hand there. So let's see what happens here. My opponent doesn't look like he has any way of knocking out my active Gengar. Wait a minute, things are changing. Touches a fire energy to Entei. And he's gonna Versus Seeker probably for the Blacksmith, and he's gonna go ahead and Blacksmith, getting another Entei up, knocking out our Gengar. There's no way we're gonna survive that Heat Tackle. I believe it's called Heat Tackle. Forgive me if I'm saying it wrong. Does 30 to himself, which isn't a big deal. We already had done 30 to him beforehand. So now I'm gonna go ahead and promote my Ghastly, even though he's kind of bare bones there. We're gonna stock him up pretty quick here. We're gonna rare candy our Gengar, our Ghastly into a Gengar, a majestic Gengar, and we're gonna go ahead and use Water Shuriken on the camera up since it needs to have 30 on it. So here's where we have to do a little bit of luck. We need to get Psychic Energy, and we also need to get Dimension Value because there's no way I can attach twice in a turn. Luckily we get a Psychic Energy and a Dimension Value, so things are looking pretty good for Gengar over here. We're going in Creep Show, knocking out the second fully loaded Entei. So we're keeping up a little bit with Speed Entei over here. Hopefully we don't get a little overwhelmed. He promotes Camerupt, and then he actually benches Team Magma's Numel. Let's see what happens here. I don't think it'll be extremely hard for my opponent to once again fully load up the Camerupt, so I believe we're okay. And there seems to be no way for him knocking out Gengar in this one turn, since he can only do about 100. Since if he has double colors and Blacksmith, he can only do 100, and he's not able to evolve into Team Magma's Camerupt, so you can put another Burning Energy. My opponent's taking a little bit of time to think here. It's probably a very stressful situation. He's trying to find a way to knock out my Gengar, because if he doesn't knock it out this turn, I'm going to knock out his Camerupt EX, which is 2 prize cards. So let's see here. It's a pretty uphill battle here. My opponent does not. He attaches a Burning Energy to his Numel, and he's gonna go in Sycamore. The way I see it is there's no way for him to get the Camerupt ready, so he's gonna get another attacker ready, which will be Team Magma's Camerupt. It does 80, so it doesn't knock us out in any way either. It's gonna Professor's Letter, and it's gonna get Ultra Ball. Let's see. See what he gets with the Ultra Ball. He can get another Entei. He gets another Numel. Let's see what happens here. It doesn't look like it, but the editing makes it shorter, but it was actually kind of a long turn. And so he just passes his turn. We're going to bench our Ghastly just in case our Gengar gets knocked out for whatever reason. I'm going to transmit for nothing amazing, so I'm going to go in Skyla, and I'm going to go ahead and Energy Retrieval so I can have Water Energies for the next turn. And I'm going to go in Creep Show, knocking out the Camerupt EX. So next turn, if he doesn't, in order to win game, I want to just Lysander out the Shaman, and then of course use Water Shuriken to do the 30 on itself. He's going to Ultra Ball away, and then he's going to get out a Camerupt. He's going to evolve, and we'll see if he touches double colorless, or maybe, he's going to Sycamore. Maybe he's looking for that double colorless. Goes and replaces our Stadium with Scorched Earth, and benches the Numel and attaches his energy to Numel, double colors actually. So that's a little weird, and so my opponent just gives up. So I guess those are two matches that actually were Camerupt, not Camerupt. 2 matches where Greninja and Gengar work together really well, and as you can see, if you get them out pretty quick, it's kind of hard for your opponent to just keep up with it. Like I said, decks that only offer up 1 prize cards will kind of be a hindrance because you have to keep getting this kind of energies. But hopefully it's not too bad for you guys. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the deck. If you guys did, please leave a like, and that's about it. Hopefully you guys have a great day. Hopefully you guys' Thanksgiving was amazing. Mine was filled with turkey, too much turkey really. But that's it. Hope you guys have a great day.